The time is precisely 6:15. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. Here's the news edited by Anjana Dudangada and read by Ramesh Perez. The headlines. The Election Commission informs the Supreme Court that all steps have been taken to hold the local government polls. School uniform material donated by China arrives in the island. Efforts undertaken to end human trafficking in Sri Lanka discussed. The Secretary General of the Commonwealth Parliamentary Association calls on the President. Veteran politician Reginald Curry passes away at the age of 75. In news overseas, Pakistan foreign exchange reserves drop to lowest since 2014. In sports, it's swimming, new records at National Short Course Swimming Championships 2022. Now the news in detail. The National Election Commission has informed the Supreme Court that all steps have been taken to conduct the local government election. A petition filed by retired Sri Lanka Army Colonel W.M. Vijay Surendra calling for an order to suspend the conduct of the local government election was taken up for consideration today. Facts were tabled before court by Attorney President's Counsel Saleh Perez, representing the chairman and the members of the Election Commission. The petition was taken up for consideration before a three-member bench comprising Chief Justice Jayanta Surya, Estori Raja and Janak De Silva. The Supreme Court, granting consent to the request, ordered that the case to be taken up once again on the 18th of January. Sri Lanka and the United States have discussed efforts undertaken to end human trafficking. Talks were held between U.S. Ambassador to Sri Lanka Julie Chung and Minister of Labour and Foreign Employment Manusha Nanakara today. The two discussed efforts to end human trafficking, including the recent rescue of women trafficked to Oman, ongoing labour reforms efforts that promote migrant rights and enhance Sri Lanka's overall competitiveness on the global stage were also discussed in detail. Secretary General of the Commonwealth Parliamentary Association, Stephen Twegg, has met with President Ranil Wickremesinghe during his official visit to Sri Lanka. The meeting was held at the President's office this morning. Senior advisor to the President on National Security and Chief of Staff of the President, Sagala Ratnagar, was also present on this occasion. This news broadcast comes to you from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.
From People's Bank. Give your child the strength to succeed.
Continuing with more local news, veteran politician Reginald Curry has passed away at the age of 75. Reginald Curry suffered a heart attack while attending a political meeting at a hotel in Wadua last night. He was immediately rushed to the Panadura Base Hospital and subsequently transferred to the Nagoda General Hospital. He was pronounced dead at the Nagoda Hospital. At the time of his demise, he was the district leader of the Sri Lanka Freedom Party. Born on the 12th of November 1947, the veteran politician held a number of positions in the government, in addition to being a member of parliament, a cabinet minister, a chief minister, governor of the northern province. Parliament will convene once again from the 17th to the 20th of January. The Secretary General of Parliament, Dhammika Dasanayake, said the decision was reached at the Committee on Parliamentary Business chaired by the Speaker today. Accordingly, Parliament will convene from 9:30 a.m. from Tuesday to Friday next week. And that concludes local news.
From the very first day at school, stories.
Moving on to the main news story, a stock of school uniform material donated by China has arrived in the island. The Chinese embassy in Sri Lanka said 20 40-foot containers of school uniform material worth $4.24 million arrived in the island. The material donated by China has been handed over to the Ministry of Education today. The embassy stated that the first batch of material will cover 70% of the requirement of millions of students in 2023. And that was the main news story. 20 minutes during the night for groups A to L and groups B to W. And that came to you in Watchlight.
Coming up, World News.
Moving on to the bulletin of world news, first the headlines. Pakistan foreign exchange reserves drops to lowest since 2014. Japan to release radioactive water into sea this year. And Lisa Marie Presley, Elvis Presley's only child, dies at the age of 54. Now the world news in detail. Pakistan's foreign exchange reserves have fallen to $4.3 billion, its lowest level since February 2014, the country's central bank announced after paying off some of Pakistan's external debt payments. The State Bank of Pakistan released today revealed the figure, adding that the commercial banks have $5.8 billion, totaling nearly $10.1 billion. Thursday's announcement comes at the back of Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif's visit to the United Arab Emirates, where it was disclosed that the Gulf state pledged on rolled over $2 billion of existing loans while providing an additional loan of $1 billion. Japan says it will release more than 1 million tons of water into the sea from the destroyed Fukushima nuclear power plant this year. After treatment, the levels of most radioactive particles meet the national standards, the operator said. The International Atomic Energy Agency says the proposal is safe, but neighboring countries have voiced concern. The 2011 Fukushima disaster was the worst nuclear accident since Chernobyl. Decommissioning has already started, but could take 4 decades. Murray Presley, Elvis Presley's only child, dies age 54. And that concludes World News.
Development News.
Moving on to development news, the Minister of Power and Energy Kanchana Wijesekhara says Petroleum Development Authority of Sri Lanka hopes to recommence work on exploration of petroleum resources in about 900 blocks identified around the country. The authority is preparing to issue 2-year oil and gas exploration licenses to suitable investors for as many as 900 offshore blocks to bring in vital investments to the country. Minister Wijesekhara has signed the regulations finalizing the legal framework for offshore oil and gas exploration investments in Sri Lanka, and the relevant extraordinary gazette notification has been issued. And that was development news. In sports news, National and Junior National Short Course Swimming Championships 2022 was held at the Isipatana College Swimming Pool Complex recently. The meet was organized by the Sri Lanka Aquatic Sports Union. A student of Zaira College, M.F. Mohammed, bagged 5 golds with a new junior national record in the 200-meter breaststroke event with a timing of 2 minutes and 34 seconds and emerged as the junior national champion in that meet. He won gold medals in the 50-meter breaststroke, 100-meter breaststroke, 200-meter breaststroke, 200-meter individual medley, and the 400-meter individual medley events. Meanwhile, in cricket news, Australia has withdrawn from the men's one-day series against Pakistan in March because of the Taliban's restrictions on women and girls. The 3-match series was scheduled to take place in the United Arab Emirates. Cricket Australia said it took the decision after consultation with the relevant stakeholders, including the Australian government. And that was Sports News.
Business News. Sponsored by National Savings Bank. The safest place for your money.
Moving on to business news, a leading IT solution provider in the country, Connex, has been instrumental in coupling business requirements with the power of technology since 2014, delivering a host of IT infrastructure solutions and products for industries across the country. Taking another step forward in providing value-added IT services to its clientele, Connex recently became an authorized Microsoft Cloud Solution Indirect provider to offer tailor-made cloud solutions to retailers within the Connex network across Sri Lanka and the Maldives. And that was Business News.
Business News. Sponsored by National
LONC Finance is taking the power of innovation to the next level, winning 5 golds at the Technovation Awards 2022, leading the digital revolution with cutting-edge interbanking digital payments. LONC Finance claims the overall gold award whilst also claiming an extraordinary victory in digital banking.
In economic news, State Minister of Finance Shehan Singh has met with the visiting U.S. National Security Council Senior Director for South Asia, Rear Admiral Eileen Lawbacker, and U.S. Ambassador to Sri Lanka, Julie Chang, on Wednesday. The minister said the discussion took place with the top U.S. officials focused on the shared goals of economic recovery and stability of Sri Lanka. Minister Singh said the discussions also focused on 75 years of partnership between the U.S. and Sri Lanka. During the discussions, the U.S. officials reiterated the continuous support to Sri Lanka will be extended by the U.S. government. And that was the economic news. Next is the weather report.
LONC Finance is...
And finally, moving on to the weather report, the Meteorological Department forecast showers or thunder showers to occur at a few places in the southern and Sabaragama provinces and in the Kalutara, Kandy and Nuwara districts during the afternoon or night. Mainly fair weather will prevail elsewhere over the island. General public is kindly requested to take adequate precautions to minimize damages caused by temporary localized strong winds and lightning during thunder showers. And that was the weather report. And to conclude this news broadcast, a recap of the main news headlines. The Election Commission informs the Supreme Court that all steps have been taken to hold the local government polls. School uniform material donated by China arrives in the island. Efforts undertaken to end human trafficking in Sri Lanka discussed. The Secretary General of the Commonwealth Parliamentary Association calls on the President. Veteran politician Reginald Curry passes away at the age of 75. In news overseas, Pakistan foreign exchange reserves dropped to lowest since 2014. And in sports swimming, new records at National Short Course Swimming Championships. And with that, we conclude this news broadcast from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. Back to Sonal Parnapitana to keep you company till end of transmission.